Is this the future of Toronto's waterfront, or a mistake that will overshadow one of the city's most iconic buildings? A proposed 49-story tower is facing a lot of pushback from urban planners, architects, and residents from a unique condo building that sits next door and that many consider to be a jewel of Toronto's waterfront. And as a realtor who's been helping clients buy and sell condos since 2006, I can tell you that this sort of conflict is nothing new. We've seen variations of this play out time and time again. And it continues to raise an important question. How do we balance development with preserving Toronto's character? Should Toronto keep building taller, or should we focus on smarter density? And by the way, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this, so please let me know down in the comments. In this video, I want to go over a recent article about this conflict that appeared in the Toronto Star. And then I want to show you from a real estate perspective a bit more about that iconic condo building that is going to be negatively affected by the new tower. And then later in the video, I want to show you an excellent resource that I use all the time where you can find out a ton of information about upcoming condo projects in the city of Toronto. Everything from architectural plans, 3D models, air quality and noise impact studies, and even sun and shadow studies that show you how much of a shadow a new condo development is going to cast on its surroundings at different times in the day. If you're new here, my name is Jason Bondy-Sawyer. I'm a realtor in the city of Toronto, and I make educational videos like this one here to help buyers and sellers navigate the Toronto real estate market. If you want to book a call with me to discuss your real estate plans, you can do so using that first link down in the description. If you find this particular video useful, give it a like and subscribe to the channel so that you see more of our videos in the future. Okay, let's get into it. Here's the recent article that appeared in the Toronto Star. The headline reads, "Overshadowing an Architectural Jewel, Here's Why Residents Are Fighting a 49-Story Tower Condo on Toronto's Waterfront." Residents are objecting to a 49-story condo tower proposed for the foot of Spadina Avenue, which would be the tallest in the neighborhood by far, casting shadows on nearby amenities and on a building by one of Canada's most influential architects, praised for his use of natural light. Arthur Erickson, better known for Roy Thomson Hall, also designed King's Landing, a unique condo development on Queens Quay West, completed in 1985 and regarded as a jewel on the waterfront. The 12-story concrete and glass structure looks like a waterfall, an impression created by Erickson's use of curved lines and stepped terraces. The building faces south with an unobstructed view of the Toronto Music Garden and Lake Ontario. The tapered design was meant to maximize natural lighting while allowing ample terraces and sunrooms. Quote, "Arthur Erickson's architecture shows important consideration for the site, spatial and lighting quality, according to Architectural Conservancy of Ontario." So let's take a closer look at the King's Landing condo building. Now this is Spadina Avenue here, and then this is Queens Quay, and this is King's Landing. And the address here is 460 and 480 Queens Quay West. And here is the Toronto Music Garden just to the south. Let's rotate the view a bit here just to get another perspective. And if we zoom in a bit, you get a better sense of the tapered design mentioned in the article. And you can see that it does indeed stand out when compared to other buildings in the area. King's Landing was regarded as a landmark project at the time it was built and included amenities that seemed part of a bygone era in Toronto, even in the luxury space. A large pool, a tennis court, ample visitor parking, and units that currently range in size from 1 bedrooms at 1,200 square feet to 4 bedrooms at 4,800 square feet. So a bit more now about the building from a real estate perspective. There are just over 100 units in the building. And looking back at the last 5 years, there have been an average of 4 sales per year. At the low end of the price range was a 1,200 square foot 1 bedroom that sold for just under $800,000. And then at the high end of the price range, there were a couple of sales well over $3 million. The largest one being 4,600 square feet. As far as rentals go, just like sales, there have been an average of 4 per year. And units have leased anywhere from $4,200 to $8,000 a month. Now, being built in the late 1980s, you can imagine that many of the units are a bit dated on the inside. But they are, of course, uniquely large, and they offer a great opportunity for buyers who can purchase at a relatively low price per square foot, get in there and renovate, and then end up with a dream condo on the water. The proposed tower would be built next door by Arkfield, a Toronto-based real estate investment group founded in 2016. The proposed building at 10 Lower Spadina is not, like King's Landing, a luxury building. The tower includes 511 apartments, 73% of them one-bedroom units. According to the architectural plans filed with the city, The 1 bedrooms are about 514 square feet. The 3 bedrooms are in the 860 square foot range. The community is concerned that the small size of the units, although not unusual for new condo developments, will result in hoteling. Quote, "We don't want it to turn into an Airbnb building." Let's take a look at some renderings of the new development so that you can get a better idea of where it's going exactly and how it's going to compare to its surroundings. The building you see here outlined in red is currently an office building with a Starbucks and a Subway sandwich shop located on the ground level. Now this is where the new condo tower is going to be built. You can see it's directly next door to King's Landing. Here's a rendering showing what the completed tower would look like. Now zooming out to a bird's eye view of the area, you can see that while there are larger towers located to the north on the other side of the Gardiner Expressway, there's nothing this tall in that area to the south of the Gardiner. So this is one of the elements, I think, that makes this particular conflict so interesting. It's that juxtaposition between the 49-story tower and then the much smaller buildings that surround it. You've got King's Landing literally right next door. It's been there for 40 years. It is seamlessly integrated into the surroundings, and in fact, it was designed that way from the start. So it's an excellent example of very thoughtful design. It's only 12 stories high, there's only 100 units, and all of the units are uniquely large, and they don't change hands very often. So the majority of the residents there are long-term. And then juxtapose that with the new 49-story tower that's going to go up next door. It has 5 times as many units, with the majority of them being 500 square foot 1-bedroom layouts. So the two buildings are at opposite ends of the spectrum. The ground level will feature some retail space. However, the firm hasn't engaged with any specific groups yet. The entitlement process is lengthy, and we do not plan to proceed with the construction for at least the next 5 years. This is just the first step, and we have no intention of rushing the development of this site. This development is consistent with other developments in downtown Toronto where tall buildings are becoming increasingly common. We will work closely with King's Landing to minimize the impact on their building and make every effort to address the concerns of their residents. The tower would add approximately 1,000 residents to the block, already a pinch point with pedestrians, cyclists, streetcars, buses, and cars seeking their proper lanes at a confusing intersection. A challenge that often sends drivers onto the streetcar tracks. Depending on the season, shadows would be cast over the top third to half of the side of the building closest to the tower, and possibly the amenities, including a sitting area, pool, and tennis court. Shade studies included with the proposal show the building will cast shade on Canoe Landing Park and HTO Park, popular with residents and tourists, and on King's Landing for parts of the day depending on the season. The city only requires that shade studies cover the hours of 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. All right, now I want to show you that resource that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So you go to the City of Toronto's website, you hover over City Government, click on Planning and Development, and then click on Application Information Center. So here's the page for the new development at 10 Lower Spadina Avenue. You can see there's a section showing the milestone status, and then here is where you find all of that supporting documentation. You see there's 3D modeling, air quality test, architectural plans, and a bunch more. So let's open up the sun and shadow study so that you can see what that looks like. The new tower is this orange building here, and this is King's Landing next door. And the yellow here is the additional shadow that will be cast by the new development. As we advance through the study, you can see the shadows that will be cast at different times of the day. It looks like in the morning hours, especially, the new building is going to greatly reduce the natural light that hits King's Landing from the east. And then in the late afternoon and the early evening hours, you can see that HTO Park West is going to lose a lot of the natural light that it gets coming from the west. So I really do encourage you to spend some time with this website so that you can get a sense of how much information the city actually provides when it comes to new condo developments that are on the horizon. Okay, if you're thinking about making a move in the Toronto real estate market and you want to connect with a professional to help create an action plan for doing that, book a call with me using that first link down in the description. Over here are a couple of other videos that you're going to want to take a look at, and over here is a link to subscribe to this channel. That's it for now, and I'll see you next time.